Supreme Court ruling, a landmark decision for Malankara church governance. A significant decision with wide-ranging implications for the governance and administration of the Malankara Church and its institutions is the Honorable Supreme Court's affirmation that the 1934 Constitution will own and manage the 1,064 churches included in the list. Below is an explanation of the key aspects of this decision. The Supreme Court has established that the governance, administration, and management of the 1,064 churches will adhere to the 1934 Constitution. This document acts as the legal and regulatory framework governing the churches. The decision emphasizes the importance of adhering to a standardized constitution to maintain unity and avoid factional disputes. The entities or trustees operating under the 1934 Constitution confirm that they own and manage all 1,064 churches listed in the judgment. This includes the properties, assets, and other resources associated with these churches. The ruling addresses ongoing disputes regarding the control of these churches, ensuring that no other parallel administrative setups can claim authority over the listed institutions. Members of the congregations affiliated with these churches will operate under the guidelines and principles outlined in the 1934 Constitution. This could have an impact on various administrative aspects, including the appointment of clergy, financial management, and day-to-day operations. The disputes over church governance have often revolved around differences in interpretations of constitutional rights, doctrines, and management practices. The recognition of the 1934 Constitution as the governing framework resolves ambiguities and provides clarity regarding the operational structure of these churches. The ruling establishes a clear legal precedent, minimizing future disputes. It reaffirms the validity and enforceability of the 1934 Constitution. The decision brings uniformity to the administration of the 1,064 churches, avoiding fragmentation and parallel governance. By upholding the 1934 Constitution, the judgment respects the foundational principles and values established during its formulation. The clergy appointment processes will strictly follow the 1934 Constitution. Parishes and congregations. Congregants will need to align their practices with the governance model defined in the Constitution. Church trustees and managers. They will have to operate within the parameters set by the Supreme Court's interpretation of the 1934 Constitution. If the Supreme Court judgment explicitly states that no other options exist for the ownership and management of the 1,064 churches other than those governed by the 1934 Constitution, it solidifies the finality and exclusivity of the decision. Here are the implications. The ruling forbids the application of parallel constitutions, alternative administrative structures, or any other frameworks to these churches. The 1934 Constitution must strictly guide the resolution of all disputes. Unity across all churches. All 1,064 churches are bound to adhere to the same set of rules and guidelines without exceptions for any fraction, faction, or alternative group. Unified governance. The 1934 Constitution does not recognize any group claiming independence or autonomy under separate governance or alternative management structures. End to disputes. The ruling aims to put an end to decades-long conflicts between various factions vying for control of the churches. Legal authority. The Supreme Court's decision serves as the highest legal authority, making it binding on all parties involved. Any violations of the 1934 Constitution or attempts to implement alternative frameworks could result in legal consequences. Administrative control. The management committees or trustees governed by the 1934 Constitution have exclusive rights to manage assets, appoint clergy by the diocesan metropolitan, and oversee the functioning of the churches. Of standardized practices, all churches will follow a uniform system for worship, governance, and financial management. Protection of property. The 1934 Constitution's legal framework will protect the church's assets and properties, preventing unauthorized use or claims by any group. Resolution of factional claims. The ruling invalidates any claims or practices by factions that deviate from the 1934 Constitution. By disallowing any alternative frameworks or options for the governance of the 1,064 churches, the Supreme Court has established a definitive and exclusive structure under the 1934 Constitution. This decision not only preserves unity, but also ensures long-term stability and legal clarity for the administration of these religious institutions. This Supreme Court judgment not only resolves a significant legal dispute, but also sets a precedent for the governance of religious institutions. The emphasis on the 1934 Constitution ensures uniformity, stability, and continuity for the 1,064 churches, aligning their administration with a clear and legally recognized framework.